All right, it has been an insane day. I'm not even going to set up my regular setup anymore because first off, we're going to go through some changes very soon. And secondly, I'm too tired. It's like 12:30 in the morning right now on the East Coast. I am probably later to this than a lot of people are, but Seth Jones has been traded to the Florida Panthers along with a 2026 fourth round pick from the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for a 2026 first round pick and goaltender Spencer Knight. The Blackhawks are retaining 25% on Seth Jones' salary. And yeah, I was shocked when I saw this. My girlfriend can confirm it. We were at the Reading Royals game, which is the ECHL, and I I glance at my phone while we're watching the game, and I see hearing Seth Jones is being traded to Florida, and my jaw dropped to the floor. I'm like, what? Like, of all the places that I thought Seth Jones was going to go, I really wasn't thinking of Florida, even though his name was brought up with Florida. My assuming thought was Columbus and Dallas. Those were the two that I was locked in on. But when I saw Florida, I was like, wow. And it's one of those instances where I'm glad that I had more time to think about it, because now that I've thought about it, it makes more and more sense for Florida, and it actually makes even greater sense for Chicago, too. So I'll go on Florida's side first. Again, they get Seth Jones, who is on a retained salary. He's originally being paid $9.5 million. The funny thing is that I said in the News of the Week video, literally on Friday, that I just did not think that it was going to happen. I didn't think that Seth Jones was going to get traded. I thought it was going to be more of an offseason move, if anything, and I was completely wrong with that. And advice that I can give people: when you're making videos and you've been doing it for half a decade, you're going to get a lot of things wrong, and that was another instance where I got something wrong. And to be honest, I'm not surprised that I'm wrong, though, now that I really do think about it, because when you can get Seth Jones a retained salary, he can be an effective player. And again, I also have been saying this too. He isn't bad. He's overpaid. When he's on a much cheaper salary, like let's say even $7 million, like what he's getting paid right now, he can be effective. He can be a good defenseman. It's just a matter of, can he be the consistent defenseman that a team like Florida will want him to be? He hasn't played, I would say, valuable or important hockey in a very long time. Since 2020, I think was that last time, and he's been with, I don't think he was there for Nashville on their playoff run. I think he left the year before. And he hasn't played that much valuable hockey, but still, he can be a very effective defenseman for the Florida Panthers, who lost Brandon Montour last year, who lost Oliver Ekman-Larsson last year, who were two guys that I think were very integral to that cup run. Honestly, Montour was probably their second best defenseman, I would argue, and OEL was a very good and solid second or third pairing defender on that Panthers team. And this year, they're still solid on that blue line. It's still a very good blue line with guys like Ekblad and Forsling on it. I should say that he's probably Montour's probably their number 3. I was forgetting Forsling. But anyways, enough of that. I kind of think that, getting Jones makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense for the long term, and it makes a lot of sense for right now, because you're missing a big name defender in a guy like Brandon Montour. Now, Jones is no Brandon Montour. I'm not saying that he's not as good as Montour. I think Montour is a better player. He's better offensively. Unless if Jones can get back to what he had in his last year with the Blue Jackets, or even the year before that, I don't think he's going to be like Mackenzie Weegar, Brandon Montour. You can tell I'm so tired. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be like that. But still, getting a big name guy on your top 4 is effective. And, you had guys like Mikkola and Bolinskis playing on more bigger roles, and they haven't been bad. But I feel like you could use another big name guy, honestly. So I give props to Florida for that. On Chicago's side, I'm kind of rambling a little bit, so I want to go through Chicago's pretty quickly. You get a first-round pick, even if it is in 2026. I got to give them a lot of credit. I did not think they were going to be able to get rid of that Jones deal, even if they are retained 50% on it or 25% on it. Doesn't really matter. I still think it's great that you got rid of it, even if you are paying it for the next 4 or 5 years. Got to be blunt with you. Sucks and all, but you're not going to be a contender until at least like the third or fourth year into that. So, it's my opinion. But yeah, and then the other part too, and I think this is a big part that people are a little bit underrating, Spencer Knight. I think Knight going back the other way is huge. Now, Knight has been flawed since he was drafted by the Panthers in 2019 because that same week, that same offseason, Sergei Bobrovsky was signed to a massive 8-year contract. And, he is coming up on the books of that. He's coming, I think he expires either this year or next year. I'm pretty sure it's, or next year or the following year. I'm pretty sure it's the following year. Or no, it's next year. But I'm tired as hell. But yeah, I think you get Knight in a starting role, probably, because I would imagine he takes the ring over a guy like Mrazek, or at least is a tandem guy with Mrazek. I think that's huge. We know that Knight can do it, but he never really got an opportunity. Even on the year where when they won the cup last season, he wasn't even the starter. He wasn't even the backup. Anthony Stolarz was the one who led the way, and Knight found himself as the third string in the AHL, or even in some instances in the player assistance program. So, again, I think getting a chance here in Chicago as a real starting goaltender would be huge for this kid's career. And I think it's going to be huge moving forward to see what he's going to be able to do now. And maybe with a new Blackhawk, or maybe with a new team like Chicago, they might have just found their goalie. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts on this trade in the comment section down below. Again, I know I rambled for a lot longer than I would if I were to just make this right away. But again, you give me more time to think about the deals, I'm going to have a more longer speech. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.